Good afternoon. Welcome, Jim. Clicked on to long range weather forecast discussion for October 5th to the 19th. For October 5th to the 9th, the pattern starts out amplified, but as I go through the models, start seeing there will be a de-amplification of the flow as this ridge weakens and this trough begins to lift out. And the models are good agreement. Now, we're expecting a low to develop off the middle Atlantic and northeast coast, and some let's take a look at the models first before I say anything. Now the models keep it fairly weak and then lifts it out, but there could be some rain for portions of southern New England to the northern mid-Atlantic. And getting to the tropics, Tropical Depression 25 has developed here. You can see the spin. We'll zoom in a little bit closer. And you can see it has a fairly good circulation, good outflow to the north. And this system is forecast to deepen, and as it moves north of the Yucatan Peninsula next week. Now, to the north of this, we'll start looking at the models here. To the north of this, we have a stall frontal boundary that's across southern Florida, and this will dissipate, and some of the moisture might be drawn in here. It might interact with the system across here, but then we have another tropical system. Let me see if I can get to that right here, that will be moving west-northwest across Cuba. And it appears that southern Florida, with that stall front, may experience heavy showers and some thunderstorms throughout the period. And we'll go back to the maps and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here, we go to the end of the period. See the 9th, there's still some rain. Oops. Right next Friday, you can see here's the low. Now, there is some talk about this system. We have this ridge that would be building across westward, and this could, let's try to go forward. We're going to go beyond the period. This ridge might act as a block and keep this low down to the south, and it might meander and cross parts of the Gulf other than moving into Florida. Because some of the models, like earlier, you can see, let me see if I can get back to here, shows this deep trough trying to develop and sink down to the Gulf, but it might be cut off here by this ridge that builds across to the west, and this might keep the system down to the north. We have to see how that goes. The ridge in the west will cause hot and dry conditions along with increased fire risk. And temperatures may be up to 15 degrees above normal in some locations. And then as this ridge kind of weakens, the trough lifts out and the ridge kind of like slides to the east, might bring this warmth to parts of the central and southern plains later next week. Okay, now we're going to look at the period for October 10th to the 15th. And the pattern transitions to a nearly zonal flow. You can see it right here. And what we have is a nearly zonal flow. We have a trough here that a trough over the Northeast Pacific, and we have a trough here or an upper low over Hudson Bay with a trough into Northeast, but a zonal flow here. Models good agreement. So for this forecast period, I am forecasting above normal temperatures here, and I'm forecasting anomalies of 4 to 8 degrees above normal. Below normal temperatures are forecast for this region here, and I'm forecasting anomalies to be near 2 degrees below normal. For precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for this much of this region here. Probability of occurrence 35 to 45%. And now for the period for September 15th to the 19th, or October 15th to the 19th. And a zone of flow, or nearly zone of flow, is forecast across much of the nation. You can see it right like that. And now we have, let me go back here. Now we have this trough that builds into western Canada and the northwest. Zone of flow here above normal heights. So you know what that leads to. Calling for above normal temperatures for much of the nation. And I'm forecasting anomalies of 2 to 6 degrees above normal. And for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation for Washington and Oregon. Probability of occurrence is 35%. And then we have below normal precipitation for much of this region here, and the probability of occurrence is 35 to 45%. That's the long range weather forecast discussion for October 5th to 19th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.